Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, after a couple weeks off, the FMA Freedom Motorsport Alliance GT3 season returns. We're going to start off on one of the newest tracks in iRacing, Miami Circuit, the Blue Wave. God, this thing gives me cross-eyed after end of a race here. But welcome in, this is Racer Nexus. I'm Rob Campbell. In the booth with me, as usual, is Richard Swindells. Rich, welcome to the very, very blue Miami Circuit Autodrome. I think they call it some crap like that. I'm really not a fan of this
like
track, but we're here anyways to kick things off for Season 3 Freedom Motorsport Alliance Street Circuit, which generally we both love. But you know what? I haven't come to a liking here with Miami. I like the exterior of the track. It's just way too much blue on track for me.
Well, I mean, they are near the ocean, Rob, so it's only fitting that it is blue. And I guess this name is Miami International Autodrome, based on all those billboards over top of the walkways there.
Yeah, too many names. Just call it Miami Circuit or Miami Autodrome or whatever you want to call it. But we're back, Season 3 of FMA GT3. We're going to throw a little wrench in the series this season. We're going to have 3 different classes: GT3 Pro, GT3 Pro-Am, and GT3 Am. All of our drivers be sorted into separate classes. We got, I think, upwards of about 35, almost 40 cars here this evening, Rich. So it should be interesting to see how that many cars deal with the tight confines of Miami.
I think we already know how it's going to go, Rob. I mean, let's be honest. I love street circuits. You love street circuits, and walls are there. There's a lot of runoff on a normal road course. Not a whole lot of runoff past the concrete here.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Should be a good one. I hate on the track a little bit, but you know what? It's not actually that bad of a track. It makes for good racing, actually. It's a decent street circuit here where you've got some wide open spaces. It's not as tight as a track, say, like Long Beach or Detroit, but we're in week 1 of 12. As you can see there, we're at Miami. 45-minute sprint race here tonight, fixed setups. And then next week, we're going to head to another one of the new street courses, Rich, Adelaide. I know you did a broadcast early last season there. How were you liking that track?
Yeah, Adelaide was a good track, but once again, I love street circuits. I'm a freak, and I'm looking forward to tonight's race and looking forward to next week's race. We'll see how it goes. At least Adelaide I've been to before. I broadcast from. This track only got on my broadcast booth equipment about an hour ago, so it's a little new to me, although I've watched many an F1 race here.
Many an F1 race?
Well, all of them. All 3.
I was going to say, hasn't there only been 2 of them? Or, I don't know, maybe...
Yeah, I think they started in 2022 or something like that, so... But regardless, we're here again.
Well, welcome in, everybody. Should be a fun one for some reason. We got Mr. Morris showing he's leading in 2 classes there. I'll have to figure out what the issue is
It's
with
impressive.
the overlay there, but well done for him. Let's see if a quick little reload fixes that. There we go. So we got that fixed up. Qualifying here, about 2 minutes and just under 30 seconds left to go. Brock Morris leading the way of Marshall Crocker Jr. sitting in second place. We'll see how he does. We know he broke his streak of getting second place finishes at the finale last season, Rich. So We'll see if he's going to be able to have a nice run here tonight as Nathaniel Fryman, new driver to the league, jumping in at the last minute here. Currently hopped up into second place. I'm not quite sure which class he's supposed to be in. I don't have a notification here for what class he's supposed to be in, so I just stuck him in Pro-Am for now, but he may actually be a pro driver. We'll see if we can get that figured out as the race goes on.
I'm guessing if he keeps that kind of pace up, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to be a pro. Very nice pace thus far from him. Another new driver, to me anyways, is Kyle Mavis here in that beautiful livery on that Mustang.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mustangs in the field here, Rich. I'm actually having a look here at the makes. We got Corvette leading the way over the Ford, Porsche in fourth place. We got Mercedes and Acura. Uncle Tank in the Acura this season. He's hopped out of the Aston, Rich.
New, well, that's all well and good, Rob. But what was that new overlay about a black flag I just saw? That looks like something else. That's you've been working hard in this off season.
I can't take credit for designing that one. I've got that off someone else. But yeah, we've got what do we have? I've got it set to notify us of if somebody gets disqualified, a meatball flag, a black flag. I have slowdowns and off tracks turned off because we don't need to be notified about that. And when a driver goes into pit lane or lead change, so it should help us a little bit when something happens. If we're maybe focusing on another battle and something happens on track, we can quickly find out. Us old guys need all the information we can get, Rich.
You got that little information overload. Hey, any chance we could take a look at Matt Maher's car? Is he out on track right now, Rob?
He's not on track.
Okay.
We're just going to have to wait for him a little later, Rich.
Okay, I was just wondering what candies I should be eating tonight. I'm on the Cadbury mini eggs tonight, so we'll see what Matt's promoting this evening, I'll call it. So we take a look at Brandon Anderson in that quite the nice livery. Another car, Jacob Brown. We're going back here to Brandon Anderson. Very patriotic, a good color scheme and good livery for FMA.
Yeah, I guess kind of goes with the whole Freedom Motorsports theme here tonight, Rich, and just give Mr. Fryman a correction there. Just put him into the proper class. So he is going to be a pro driver here this evening. So now we've got him sorted into the right class. And speaking of having drivers sorted into the right class here, Rich, let's take a look at our final qualifying results here in just a minute. Once I can get my overlay set back up here again. Sorry, folks. I had to just going to give that little adjustment while we were getting the drivers set up. But let's take a look at what we got here, Rich, for qualifying. Brock Morris taking top spot in qualifying, just ahead of Marshall Crocker Jr. to his outside. Brandon Anderson and Nathaniel Fryman going to rake up the second row in third and fourth, with Fernando Rosario in fifth, and Uncle Tank going to start in sixth place in that Acura. Seventh place going to go to Travis Roberto. Alexander Zugig in eighth, with Anthony Bronco and Chase Matsko rounding out the top 10. Who do we have over on the next page there, Rich?
And 11th place, we got Kyle Mavis. 12th, Gustavo Ferraro. Alec Jackson in 13th. Adam Brady in 14th. We got Sean Ramsey in 15th. Jay Davis in 16th. Jamie MacArthur 17th. Dustin Wells 18th. Alexander Berter in 19th. And Evan Gumet in 20th.
And then we'll skip over to the next page here. We're going to find in 21st base, there's Matt Mars. There's your paint job you're looking for, Rich. So no candy theme this week. He's got a Miami theme for the Miami race here this evening, but he's going to have DCO Lehman to his outside. DCO Lehman to his outside with Justin Welsh in 23rd place. Ryan Peters going to start in 24th with Jody Nielsen and Steven Zabziter in the row behind them, 25th and 26th. P27 is going to be Broughton Jones in 20th place, James Tankersley, and 29th and 30th place, rounding out top 30 is going to be Jacob Brown and Cody Deek. Who do we have over in the rest of the field here, Rich?
Yeah, rounding out the field in 31st, we got PJ Wentline. 32nd, Aaron Siebert. In 33rd, we've got Anthony Sorrentino. Ignacio Arroyo in 34th. And rounding out the field tonight in the Ford, P35, Jacob Williams.
There we go, 35 cars on track. We got some drivers sharing their cams this evening too as well. Let's take a look at them. There we see Matt Mars on the bottom, Anthony Sorrentino on the top. No Anthony Jenkins this season so far, Rich. I wonder if maybe he just missed this season, or maybe he's queuing up to take a run at the LMP2 and Prototype Series that starts on Thursday night.
Oh, I think he's just getting the cameras realigned, Rob, and maybe finding a new race outfit. Maybe we'll see him next week.
We'll have to see if that holds true. The grid heading towards the green flag here, Rich. In behind we're rocking the old Ford Mustang pace car this evening. So a little bit of retro vibes here at Miami. See how the drivers warming up their tires, trying to get a little bit of temp in them. Let's take a look at the weather conditions here before we hit the green flag. 81-degree track temp, should be plenty warm enough for them to get those tires up to temp. 7 degrees Fahrenheit. I believe we're running at sunset here, or is it sunrise? I can't remember. I forgot to check. Either way, we got a nice crisp sunrise or sunset. I'm going to go with sunset in the background. It looks good anyways.
It's 7 p.m. right now.
There we go. So we're driving off into the sunset. We got a Ford and a Corvette on the front row. Actually, we got a bunch of American muscle in the front. Nathaniel Freiman, the lone Porsche, the German machine in the top 4 here. He's going to have a lot of heavy American machinery around him here today, Rich.
Yeah, it's going to be a little interesting start to the season. A lot of new drivers, Rob. Very old pace car. Lots of scrubbing of tires going on with all these beautiful liveries. And we're getting ready here, folks. We're coming up to corner 11. We still got a ways to go. 19 turns on this circuit, Rob. So lots of places. I think the biggest passing opportunities are going to be at turn 11, the end of that long sweeping straightaway, and turn 17, the end of the last and final straightaway on the circuit. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, the final sector. I did a broadcast here a couple weeks back with Alex Goldschmidt. We did a multi-class race between GT4s and LMP3s. And you know what? This final sector that they're kind of coming into now is we see Brock Morse give the wall a little bit of kiss there while he was warming up his tires. It was kind of tricky with the overtake. Now all these cars in the same class shouldn't be as bad, but these GT3 cars very, very wide. It's going to be tough in some of these sections here, Rich, especially the final section where they have that, kind of blind chicane that goes left, right, and then a fast right-hand sweeper to the line. It's going to be tricky for these drivers to get through there comfortably.
Yeah, I think Brock Morris was just, as we used to do, Rob, knocking the mirrors off, make the car a little lighter, a little more aerodynamic, and see if that helps. But it's going to be interesting. Brock Morris, Marshall Crocker Jr., starting on the front row, 2 very fast drivers we've seen last season. Interesting to see how this shakes out this season.
Yeah, I haven't, you know what? They changed so much this season. I forgot to go through all the new rules, Rich, but I think they dropped the end-of-line penalties this season with going to the 3 classes. So it'll be interesting to see these fast guys. You're going to be starting up at the front each week, in and week out, so we'll keep an eye on that. But there we go. Green flag is out, and we are underway. Brock Morris, Marshall Crocker going to lead us down into turn 1. Look at that, Rich. 3, 4, 5 wide. Somebody coming from way back there in that Porsche. But it looks like everybody got woed up just in time, and it looks like we're going to have a fairly clean turn 1. You love to see that.
Yeah, that was quite the send-on down that Porsche on the inside. But meanwhile, as we're coming up, it looks like Marshall Crocker Jr. is taking the lead over from Brock Morris. Marshall Crocker Jr. up 1 position. Somebody going a little wide back behind there and cutting the course and using all the track. And then some is Nathaniel Freiman. So Nathaniel Freiman, welcome to FMA, using all of Miami's track a little bit extra.
He paid for the whole track. He's going to use it here tonight, Rich. So I think the off tracks in a couple of those corners are very liberal. You can drop quite a bit of the car off and not actually get penalized, as we saw happen there with Freiman. It looks like we got something happening in behind. DCL Lehman, Ryan Peters, and Steven Sapser are wrapped up to that Mustang around the wrong way. Oh man, I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to see if we can find out who that was. I believe that might have been Kyle Mavis here. Oh, there's what happened to Lima and Peters, but let's see what happened to Kyle Mavis. I believe it was that Mustang that was turned around sitting in the middle of the road. So that's that corner where we saw Freiman get off at, it was just cold tires, lost the back end, and the rest of the field had to scatter around him. And then we pick up Lima coming through. Let's get another look here. What happened between him and Peters and the rest of them. Oh, just had a little bit of contact with that Aston in behind. I think that would have been Ryan Peters. It was Ryan Peters. He's in the inside of Lima. They come together and around they go, but fortunately, it didn't look like it was all that heavy of a hit, Rich. I think they all should be able to continue on for the most part.
Yeah, it looked like not too much damage, just a bunch of positions lost, unfortunately. But we're going to go back up to the front, see what's going on up here. Speaking of back up to the front, a little bit of a gap now. We got Marshall Crocker Jr., half-second lead over Brock Morris. Travis Roberto's fallen over a second and a half behind them. So these two guys legging it out, stretching out. Trying to put a little gap on Travis. Travis always having great pace, so anytime they can get a little gap to Travis Roberto, that's a good thing for those Marshall Crocker Jr. and Brock Morris. Ford and Chevy 1-2, Mercedes in third, Porsche in fourth.
Yeah, nice mix of cars. Looks like right now the Mercedes doing well with 3 of them in the top 6 right now. So we hop on board here with Alexander Zugig. Now they have they're running teams too as well this season. Rich, I've updated any of the drivers who have provided their team that they're running with. Zugig, the Threshold Performance Racing team he's running for, currently sitting in 4th place. Fernando Rosario, a little bit of a free agent out there. Maybe he'll get picked up after this race, but potentially a move for the lead here as Brock Morris trying to go the long way around Marshall Crocker. Crocker going to defend the inside line. That Corvette, Morris going to have to find another way around.
Yeah, these two drivers, both very, very skilled and very hard racers. I mean, Marshall Crocker Jr. doing a good job of defense against Brock Morris right now. Brock Morris hanging tight, though, all over the back of him, trying to keep up close because they want to. I don't think he's going to battle too hard this stage. Whoa, something happened to Justin Welsh. I don't know. He got to slow down. He's going really slow there for a minute. Looks like he's got it back underway, though.
Yeah, it looks like got caught up in a wall or something. Did the right thing, didn't try and force himself back into traffic, but he has DCO Lima in behind him, so a couple drivers having a little bit of an adventure here early on, find themselves together on track, Rich.
Yeah, adventures up, down the field, tight street circuit, or I guess it's not really a street circuit, well, it kind of is. It's no public streets being used here in Miami tonight, folks. These are all the kind of little streets and roadways around the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play, so unlike where you go in Long Beach or Detroit Belle Isle, these are public roads, but not really public roads, more of a stadium kind of roadways.
It's a street circuit, Rich. Call it what it is.
It's a street circuit, but they're not streets.
They're technically streets. It looks like a road they're driving on to me. That's a street. You see Matt Mars using the liberal track limits there as he is battling with the Mercedes of Jay Davis. Is he going to take that spot away? Still running out wide. Matt Mars using up all the track and then some. Another one of those. I wonder if he's maybe has some steering issue there. Rich. He's going real wide in about 3 or 4 corners in a row there for him.
I think he's overdosed on those Reese's eggs, Rob. A little bit of hypoglycemia as these two cars come side by side, a little bumping, but not too bad. And Travis Roberto having himself a good little battle right now with Nathaniel Fryman. So Nathaniel Fryman applying some pressure to Travis Roberto. I think we're going to see Nathaniel up in the pro category, Rob.
He is the pro category now. Rich, I made that adjustment. You must have been sleeping you must have been sleeping when I mentioned that. Yeah, I got him in the proper class here now. So putting a ton of pressure on the back of Travis Roberto. Roberto, we saw him, unfortunately, in the finale last season, didn't get disqualified. He didn't serve his penalty. He was supposed to run end of line from a penalty from the race before. I did not serve it. They warned him a couple times over the race control voice chat. He didn't serve it and got disqualified. I think we were trying to figure out what happened. I think somebody had told us in chat to give us the update. So he's back in the league again this season. Hopefully he remembers to serve all of his penalties.
Well, I hope he didn't get one carried over from last season for not serving it last season, but with no end of line for a top 3, I think it'll be a little bit easier as we take a look at Alexander Zugig. Alexander Zugig currently 6th place right now, battling right behind Fernando Rosario. A couple of Mercs back-to-back 5th and 6th place, and 1-2 in class.
Yeah, behind them we got Uncle Tank doing everything he can to move that Acura up the field. Nice to see an Acura back on the grid. You know, it's It's a little bit of an understeery GT3, Rich, but I find it very, very planted, very easy to drive. Not necessarily the fastest in a straight line, but I think around a street circuit here like Miami, it probably works fairly well. As Uncle Tank representing the leftovers this season. So we'll see how Uncle Tank does. I'm surprised none of these Mach 10 guys teamed up to run a Mach 10 Motorsports team. They're all on different teams here this season, Rich, but Uncle Tank and the leftovers going to be a hard-fought battle as Anthony Barranco in behind him. One of the Iron Horse Motorsports team drivers, Marshall Crocker Jr., the leader of the race right now, another driver on that team. So it looks like it's a strong start for them. Two drivers firmly in the top 10.
Yeah, I think the rules are, I'm going from memory, Rob, but I believe they can only have one Pro, one Am, and a Pro-Am. So I think they have to have a mix of driver classes on the team. So that may be why Mach 10 is kind of split up a little bit here. That's said,
good point, Rich.
Uncle Tank in the Acura. I love that Acura car. I think it looks gorgeous. And like you said, it's not the best at anything, but I think overall it's a great handling car, and it's certainly underutilized on the service, although in a couple of the other leagues we broadcast, some people have had some good success with it.
Yeah, it's I guess it's one of those cars really that has its certain time and place where it excels. It's getting a ton of pressure here from Anthony Barranco, where the Fords, I'm actually surprised to see the Fords doing so well here, Rich. I guess Miami isn't necessarily the tightest street circuit, but you know, they tend to do well on the fast, wide open tracks, and I guess Miami actually is fairly wide open as far as street circuits go. But it looks like something happened to James Tankersley and Anthony Sorrentino.
No.
Let's quickly hop back and see what happened to James and Anthony. Anthony, I think, got wrapped up in that spin early on. We saw Peters. Oh, he's still got that front bumper missing, but he's going to try and dive up underneath Tankersley. Oh, man, there was no way he was going to make that. That was an ill-advised move by Anthony Sorrentino, unfortunately. And then James Tankersley going to take the brunt of that one.
Yeah, sent that from a mile back, and that was never going to work. And unfortunate start to the season for James Tankersley at this stage. We'll take it a little further back here. Chase Matsko. Chase Matsko once again representing the Lamborghini Admin Advantage. Hey, wait a second. Chase Matsko's an admin. Does that mean he's got an advantage, Rob? I don't know. What's with this naming convention here?
I don't know, but we've got to give a shout out to, Matty Tankersley in chat, letting us know that they can't have all pro. Each team can only have one pro driver. So there you go, Rich. I guess they can have as many AM or Pro-Am drivers as they want, but they're only allowed one pro.
We're not as dumb as we look.
Well, speak for yourself, Rich. I'm probably dumber than I look.
I did.
Up front, we still got this battle going on. Marshall Crocker Jr. has been able to hold off Brock Morris, and looks like that gap kind of solidifying here at about 4/10. Travis Roberto been unable to reel them in, although he's a little bit of a breathing space here now between he and Fryman, although Fryman late on the brakes there really throws it deep into the corner, Rich.
Yeah, that Nesquik car working hard. Hey, there we got some chocolate represented, Rob.
Yeah, mix yourself up a little chocolate milk and call the race. You're all set. Ooh, almost
a little
looked
overdosing
like
on Cadbury mini eggs here.
Roberto almost tagged that inside wall there. Looked like he had to bail out the last second, shoot off to the right.
Yeah, he had to good crash avoidance and calm under pressure. He was there. Take a little bit further back through this big field. Alex Jacobson, another new driver, currently in 14th place. Alex Jacobson doing a good job representing a McLaren. We've got the one lone McLaren in the field out here in Alex Jacobson.
Yeah, one lonely McLaren being chased by the Porsche of Sean Ramsey. Another new driver to this to the league, and Dustin Wells. I believe that's another new driver too as well, just up ahead. He's one of the Threshold Performance drivers. So welcome into the league, and hope he does well.
Yeah, beautiful livery on that Aston Martin. One thing about FMA, folks, for those who have not been here, haven't followed our broadcasts in the past, FMA is a free-to-race league. You just have to make sure you sign up. Sign up is free. Have the car, have the track, show up and race. Everything's done by donations. So broadcasts all thanks to donations by Patreons and race sponsors and just people who donate a few bucks here or there. So FMA, great place to get going is we got a 35 car field tonight. Great action, 3 different classes in Miami.
Yeah, they're all driving the same class of vehicle. They're all GT3s. The only difference in the 3 classes, sorry, is the ranking of the driver. And another thing we'll have to take and find out, Rich, if they're going to be handing out points for the overall finishing position, or if they're going to be handing out points where you finish in class. Hopefully it's the overall position, because I think when you hand it out in the only for where you finish in class, it doesn't really invite a lot of racing, where when you have it handed out for the overall position, every position matters. And it doesn't matter whether a driver you're trying to get around is an AM driver or a pro driver, or you want to get that position to get as many points as you can.
I'm with you. I agree 100%. That's the way I like it. When I'm a broadcaster, Rob, but when I'm a racer, because I'm one of them slow AM guys, hey, give me the points based on where I finish in my position in my class. But take a look back up front. Marshall Crocker Jr. We've got Marshall Crocker Jr. Brock Morris going around the outside. Marshall Crocker Jr. doing a great job. Late braking, covering that off on Brock Morris. Brock Morris applying lots of pressure. But so far, Marshall Crocker Jr. up to the task at holding him off.
Yeah, I was going to say he's making that Mustang wide, but that thing's already as wide as you can get. If you made it any wider, they wouldn't be able to navigate around the streets of Miami here. But looks like while they're battling, that's allowing Roberto and Fryman to close that gap a little bit here, Rich. We might see a 4-car battle for top spot relatively shortly if they continue to battle at the sharp end of the field. And we're only coming up on the 15-minute mark of this race. There's still lots of racing left to go in this one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Lots of racing left to go, but lots of good close racing. We're sitting here looking at Chase Masco in 11th. We've got 1, 2, probably 10 cars on this straightaway that we can see in the camera shot right now. So cars still pretty close together. Chase Masco applying a little bit of pressure here to Gustavo Ferraro. Gustavo Ferraro is driving a little different colored car than I'm used to, Rob.
Yeah, I wonder if he forgot to load his paint this week. We're used to seeing him drive in the black and the lime green, similar to what DCO Lima. They're both teamed up this season too as well for Vortex Racing. Gustavo sent me his profile picture just before the race here tonight, hoping I can get it in there for him. So we got that on. He's got the old Ferrari hat on with the fist pump. He's got his black, green, and white shirt on in that profile pic, Rich. Just forgot to put the dress on the car for the evening.
Yeah, well, I guess there's no lipstick on that pig. Is that the saying? I'm not sure, but Gustavo Ferraro up to 10th place right now. He started in 12th, so he's up 2 positions, sitting in 5th place in Class Gustavo Ferraro Pro-Am. As we take a look at Ignacio Arroyo going around the inside, we got 2 cars going side by side right now, but no, not able to get that move done right yet.
Yeah, we'll see if Arroyo could find a way around Steven Zabziter. Zabziter in the Corvette, which we're used to seeing him drive. Rich, oh man, and Cody Deak in that Porsche going way wide in behind them. Managed to get it gathered up though. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. The 829, get a little bit of it almost looks like fish gills on the side of the car. That blue car goes with the blue theme here at Miami, that's for sure.
I wonder if it's dolphin themed, maybe, Rob. You know, dolphin. You know, dolphins play there. We got ocean. I'm reaching for it as we take a look here. Oh my goodness, Steven Zabster doing a good job holding off the hard-charging Ignacio Arroyo. So Ignacio Arroyo, Rob's up 12 positions on the evening. 12 positions. The biggest mover and shaker thus far in 22nd place, Ignacio Arroyo, new to FMA.
Yeah, doing well so far, representing Team Threshold Performance well. So he's hit a bit of a wall here in his charge, though, towards the front bridge, trying to get around Zabster. We're going to battle a little farther back here to pick up Jody Nielsen. He's got Kyle Mavis up ahead of him. We saw Mavis with a little bit of trouble early on. He's on a bit of a recovery run, but Nielsen going to try and go the long way around him. So he's not going to get around him yet. They got Jacob Brown just up ahead. And then we got that 3-car battle that we're looking at just ahead. Zabster, Arroyo, and Deek. So fairly close in about the mid-pack here. That's a battle from about 21st place back to 26th. Only separated by about a second or so on track, Rich.
Yeah, and that's one great thing. Well, there's many great things about big fields in a race, is you get a lot of good battling. It's like this battle here. between Travis Roberto and Nathaniel Fryman. These guys have been going at it since lap 1. Roberto going wide again, as they like to do. I think that might be the optimal line. We've seen a few drivers going way off track there. Nathaniel Fryman sticking real close. These top 4 drivers, they got a 6-second gap to Alexander Zugig in 5th. So really, we've got 1 and 2 battling for position, 3 and 4 battling for position, and it's a long ways back till we get to the 5th position and the first place Pro-Am driver.
Yeah, Alexander Zugig in 5th place, trying to drag Uncle Tank along with them up into that battle up ahead. They got Fernando Rosario, another new driver here this season, currently in 7th place. Anthony Bronco. We had a whole group of cars not far back behind that pack, so if Zugig and Tankersley can kind of close that gap up ahead, they're about 5 seconds back right now of Fryman and Roberto. We might see a nice oof. Adam Brady just letting that Mustang rear end hang out around that corner.
Just like he's leaving the Hooters parking lot at the end of the show and shine there, Rob. You gotta let that back end hang out.
Just letting it all hang out on track. Thankfully for him, there's plenty of walls all around the crowds. We're safe on that one.
Yeah, the crowds were safe this time. We're about 18 minutes in, folks. This 45-minute race. Marshall Crocker Jr. continuing to hold his lead over Brock Morris. They've got himself a couple second gap to Travis Roberto and Nathaniel Fryman in behind them. But at FMA, it's a 45-minute race, and they're going to have to stop for fuel at some point, so that could mix things up a little bit. Pit stops should be upcoming anytime. I think the pit window's open now, but you'll wait to see. Most drivers, I think, will be going in as late as possible unless they're stuck in traffic.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anybody pulls out of maybe one of those packs that we saw Rich and try and go for the undercut. But right now the battle's still the same up front. Let's go a little bit farther back here. Alex Jacobson, our lone McLaren, trying to catch Chase Matsko up ahead. He's got Dustin Wells in tow too as well. So 3 different manufacturers battling it out here. We got Matsko in the Lamborghini, we got Jacobson in the McLaren, and Wells in the Aston. Looks like all 3 of them very, very close on pace here, and they're all in 3 different classes too as well. Matsko in the Pro, Jacobson Pro-Am, and Wells our top Am driver.
I really like that livery. The grill is feels good. Livery with Chase Matsko. Chase Matsko had a little issue earlier on, a little off track, cost him a few positions. He's down 2 positions, but looking to get back up to where he was. First, he's got to hold up Jacobson and Wells, though.
Yeah, Matsko with a slowdown that he is trying to bleed off here without letting these drivers get an advantage in behind him. So he's going to want to get that cleared sooner rather than later. He's going to get a black flag here and have to serve a drive-through here. Rich still going off a little wide. Still hasn't quite cleared that off yet. He's in danger now. There it is. It's off. He had to really hammer the brakes at the last second to clear that. So that's going to drop him back a little bit behind Wells and Jacobson. And now he's got Sean Ramsey right on his tail.
Yeah, going the wrong direction, unfortunately. Oh. Sean Ramsey coming up the inside, give him a little bump. Get out of my way. Here I come. And going through. Chase Matsko not going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, and well, in Ramsey's defense, Matsko left the door wide open there. There was a good car length up to the inside. And I don't think Chase was expecting Sean to really throw it up the inside there. But you know what? You leave the door open, somebody's going to take advantage of it somewhere. It looks like something might have happened to Kyle Mavis a little farther back. Let's see what happened to him.
Kyle Mavis been having a couple.
I believe that is. Oh.
Looked like a Porsche there.
Mustang's doing Mustang things, Rich.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Kyle, but hopefully he gets back underway and not too much damage. He's had a couple of little incidents like that, but so far it doesn't look like he's hurt himself too badly. So Marshall Crocker Jr. continues to hold the lead over Brock Morris. Travis Roberto hanging in there tough, though, and he's got himself a little bit of a gap now over Nathaniel Fryman. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cars on the straightaway, separating themselves out a little bit. But Marshall Crocker Jr. about 4.5 second lead, or 4.5 second, about half a second lead over Brock Morris. It's time left to go still, though, folks.
Yeah, still plenty of time for them to battle. Speaking of battling, we got Alexander Berger and Justin Welsh. A couple of nice looking paint jobs on both these cars. That's one of the things, Rich. This of all the leagues that we broadcast here in Racers Nexus, the Freedom Motorsport Alliance FMA League always has some real sharp paint on their cars week in, week out, and it's always nice to see a couple of nice ones right here with Justin Welsh and Alexander Berger.
Yeah, there's no shortage of great liveries in this league, and never has been. Take a look here. Nathaniel Fryman has come in for his pit stop, in and out, and no issues at all. We've got a few people have come in, but Nathaniel Fryman right now back in 14th place, so he's our highest ranked person who's already done their pit stop. I think Nathaniel looking for a little bit of free track space ahead of getting away from Travis Roberto. That kind of puts him in the middle of things now. I don't know if that was such a good idea.
Yeah, he's come out right in behind Chase Matsko now. We see Matsko taking a really wide line. So looks like there's a couple of corners here, Rich, where there's really varying lines. We see some drivers, that corner in particular that they just went through, where we've seen drivers like Matt Mars, Chase Matsko going way out to the right. And then Nathaniel Fryman here was holding a much tighter line getting through there. So this is a battle for position, but it's not necessarily for position, as Fryman, as you mentioned, it's already come in for his pit service, so he has that service done. He's good to go to the end of the race, where we know Chase Matsko is still going to have to come in at some point in time, get a little splash of fuel for him to get to the checkered flag.
Yeah, ooh, black flag there, it looks like, for DC Olina. I don't know what happened with him, but Nathaniel Fryman, I maybe misspoke because he got by Chase Matsko. I think Chase may have realized this wasn't his race and made that rather easy on him, because he's got himself a big gap now until the next car. So that might be advantageous, that early pit stop. As we see, Brock Morris is now in. Brock Morris maybe trying the same strategy, maybe make a leap and get past Marshall Crocker Jr.
Yeah, we see Morris coming down to hit his marks here in his stall. Nice job there. We'll see how long he stays in his stall here, Rich. We're having a look at Fryman's time. Fryman was 15 seconds in his box. Morris coming up on 12, 13 now, 13.5 for him. So about 2 seconds quicker than Fryman in and out of pit road.
A few seconds quicker. We'll have to see when the other cars come through. Always the fear, you want to make it as quick as possible. You got to make sure you got enough fuel to get to the end. Brock Morris back into 10th place. Everybody ahead of him still needs to pit, though.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's going to relieve some pressure from Marshall Crocker Jr., who had 3 mirrors full of Brock Morris from the drop of the green flag here up front. Travis Roberto now 1.8 seconds back. He also has a little bit of a breathing space too, as well, with Fryman coming in. So we'll see if those two drivers can use that to their advantage. As you see Roberto getting heavy onto the throttle, almost snapped that back end around. He did it again. That time's going to cost him a couple seconds there off that one, Rich.
Yeah, that's not what he was hoping for with that free track space, unfortunately. But Travis, I think it might be the eyes if we look at his profile pic, folks. The eyes just aren't focusing quite right. But Travis Roberto, in spite of what happened the last race of the season, Travis Roberto has always demonstrated that he's got good pace. It's just a matter of, can he keep it together tonight and get himself that podium as we're going a little further back in the field? Jamie MacArthur, longtime FMA racer. We've seen him race for a long time here. One of only 2 Canadians in the race tonight, Rob. We'll just make mention of. He's 5th place in class right now, 8th overall. Jamie MacArthur following along behind Gustavo Ferraro.
Yeah, we got both Canadians in the top 8, Rich. So suck on that, America. I'm just kidding. we got a couple Americans, we got a couple Brazilians in Ferraro and Lima, and then I'm not quite sure what Suzuki's flag is off the top of my head, so I'll have to see if I can find that out. But the majority of the field is representing the old US of A, as we're seeing a number of drivers now coming into the pits. Rosario, Ferraro, Jacobson, Guimet all hopping into pit road. But our leader, Marshall Crocker Jr., is still yet to pit. He's going to take it to every last drop he's got in the tank of that Mustang.
I'm just speaking of the nationalities there. I'm just going to make a point. Jamie MacArthur, the Canadian, is driving a livery of Jack Daniels. So the man knows what he's talking about. He's racing the Freedom Motorsports Alliance. He's sponsored by an American distillery. Whoa, a little bit of a move out of the way, kind of realizing they're getting lapped, and that was some very, very courageous driving there. I'm not sure who that was that let Marshall Crocker Jr. by, but nice job getting out of the way.
That was Jacob Williams in the 14 that at the last minute saw the leader coming up with him. That's the issue with here at Miami, Rich, is you have a number of blind corners. It's the slow corners, fortunately, I guess, to say that, where you know you're not heading in there full head of steam, where if somebody does happen to be sitting there when you get there, you have a little bit of time to react, as we saw Marshall Crocker able to do. But we got a battle a little farther back here between Rosario Berger and Justin Welsh. Welsh currently leading this pack in the Aston Martin. And then Rosario in the Mercedes and Berger in the Porsche. So again, 3 different makes all battling it out here. And looking at the standings here in the top 10, Rich, basically we got a couple Fords, a couple Mercedes, but the rest are all made up by other makes. So a nice spread of manufacturers.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see one make of car or 1 or 2 dominate the field. Nice mix makes for nice racing. That's the whole point of GT3, trying to equalize all the different manufacturers, the different powertrain layouts. And take a look, Travis Roberto now inherits the lead. Travis Roberto now getting himself by looks Jacob Williams again. So Travis Roberto inherits the lead after the pit stop by the leaders. So Travis Roberto, the only one, Travis Roberto and Alexander Zugig still to make their pit stops. Brock Morris got ahead of Marshall Crocker Jr. though through pit strategy. Brock Morris coming in a little earlier, paid off.
Yeah, let's take a look at Marshall Crocker Jr.'s pit stop time, 15.7. So it's a little over 2 seconds slower than Brock Morris. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether Morris has enough fuel to get to the end. And we saw that majority of the race, he was tucked in behind Crocker Jr., so he would have been saving a little bit of fuel here, Rich. But, you know, 2 seconds quicker in your pit stall, he's going to have to save a little bit here to get himself to the end, I think.
I hope that that Marshall Crocker Jr. overfueled, but we will see, folks. We've still got 16 and a half minutes left to go. We're on lap 15 of these leaders, projected about 23, maybe 24 laps, so still a bunch of time left. Right now, Brock Morris got about 2 3/4 second lead over Marshall Crocker Jr. They're battling for, or they're in 3rd and 4th. Travis Roberto, Alexander Zugig, and the Mercedes both ahead of him. Still need to pit.
Yeah, so this is actually, oh, speaking of that, Roberto has just popped into the pits there now. So theoretically, Morris and Crocker will take over that top spot as Zugig in 2 as well. But Nathaniel Fryman, we'll see where he cycles. Oh, 3 wide here in behind between Fryman, Wells, and Matsko. Fryman going to make the move on Matsko. He's going to be in behind Dustin Wells, the driver who still owes us a pit stop. But what I was saying is we're going to have to take a keen eye on where Fryman comes out with Roberto, as he was pressuring Roberto, and then we saw him duck in early. He was one of our early takers for that fuel stop, and he has jumped Travis Roberto back up into second place now. Oh no, Marshall Crocker Jr. into the pits again here, Rich.
I'm guessing he may have had a penalty and had to serve something, Rob. Maybe some speeding or unsafe pit exit or entry, but that is going to cost him any chance of a podium, I think.
He's going to come back out in 5th place. Looks like he's about 1.1 seconds back of Zugig for 4th, and about 5 seconds back of Roberto. So there's still a chance he could chase him down, although the clock is going to be his biggest proponent here right now, as he's right on the back of Zugig. But guy who's loving seeing that is this man up front, Brock Morris, now 8 seconds over Nathaniel Fryman in 2nd place. Fryman was able to get ahead of Roberto, but Roberto right there on his rear bumper. We'll see now with the roles reversed if Roberto can put some pressure on the back of Fryman.
Yeah, we shall see. Right now, Roberto doing a good job of trying to put that pressure on. You see those couple of different lines that go really, really wide at that corner every time. It must be the fastest way, because the fast guys are all doing it. Roberto looking to advance. He's got 3rd right now, looking for 2nd. Nathaniel Fryman, new to the league. Hey, this reminds me kind of what Marshall Crocker Jr. did. Came out of nowhere, took 2nd in his first race. Right now, Nathaniel Fryman doing a great job in that Porsche, but Roberto applying all kinds of pressure going up the inside, down the very long straightaway. Looks like Roberto right now has got the lead. See what happens under braking here.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to get him cleared off before the brake zone. I'm not sure if maybe Fryman backed out of that, realizing that they were going to lose more time than they wanted to Zugig in behind there, and just back out, tuck in behind. and working on it there. But speaking of Zugig, we got Crocker making the move on Zugig. That's going to get him up into 4th place. Now we'll see if that battle between Roberto and Freiman continues on. That's what Crocker would love to see, if get himself back up into potentially a podium spot.
Would be something impressive with having to serve that pit lane penalty, somehow getting himself back in the top 3. I would think that's kind of unheard of. Right now he's 3rd in class, so, or sorry, not 3rd in class. I still have Nathaniel Freiman misclassified. I'm like, oh no, big spin for, looks like that was Nathaniel Freiman. So that is going to really hurt him. Travis Roberto keeps going on. Marshall Crocker Jr. up to 3rd place.
Yeah, Zugig can get around him too as well. Looks like Freiman going to get back in line here. So unfortunately for him, he had that quick pit stop. Was able to get ahead of Roberto, lost that position, but was looking comfortable in 3rd place. Now he's going to have to try and battle against himself back up into 3rd place. And just like that, Marshall Crocker Jr. back up into a podium position. Not the step that he would have wanted though, Rich. Obviously he was probably eyeing that top spot early on, but might have to settle for a 2nd at best here tonight. Looking more like a 3rd.
Yes. Yeah, 2nd be a lofty goal, but getting up to 3rd is something else. I think I gave Nathaniel Freiman the commentator's curse, unfortunately. We're going to go a little further back in the field. Evan Guillemette in 15th place is having himself a good race here against Justin Welsh in behind. Justin in the Aston Martin, Evan in the Mustang. 2 drivers battling it out so far, both up 5 and 7 positions respectively.
Yeah, nice run by both of these drivers. As they get heavy onto the brakes, a couple sharp looking paint jobs. He met with a nice paint on that warped esports team car too as well. Hugging tight up against the wall there. You see Welsh going out a little wider, trying to maximize his pace through the corner, where Guillemette focusing more on the shortest way around the track, Rich. And looks like it worked out well for both drivers. Neither one really getting an advantage there.
Yeah, I noticed neither of them were taking the extremely aggressive off-track kind of line that some of the guys at the pointy end of the field are doing. But they're also avoiding risk by not doing that, avoiding possibility of slowdowns. We take a look at DCO Lima, using all of the curves, getting a little bit up on 2 wheels, getting through rather effectively though. James Tankersley's got himself a little bit of issues going on.
Yeah, I think he's hit instant limits here now, Rich, for Tankersley. As I'm seeing him noted for having a crash here. It's going to be his 2nd or 3rd one tonight, unfortunately. So, oh man, so something might happen between Sorrentino, Deke, and Siemens. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here. Looks like Sorrentino's hit the front bumper back on that car, but it's been a rough night for him up and over the curb. Oh, gets loose into the side of Cody Deke, and around they go. Miami has not been the track of Anthony Sorrentino's people here tonight.
No, he's had some great results. Last season, we got to talk to him once or twice, and that car always looking good, that gold and green Aston Martin. But tonight's not his night, but you know whose night it is? It's Brock Morris's night. Brock Morris sitting in 1st place, over a 9-second gap to 2nd. So Brock Morris setting it on cruise control once he got by Marshall Crocker Jr. in the pits. Travis Roberto in 2nd, but Travis Roberto got an 8-second lead over Marshall Crocker Jr. So those are the top 3 in the pro category. Alexander Zugig in 4th overall. He's the leader in the pro-am category. So Alexander Zugig got Nathaniel
Freiman up the inside.
Freiman behind him, and oh my goodness, and this is just a good close car racing battle here going on.
A move there by Freiman that could have went all sorts of wrong. Oh, he's going for the crossover on Zugig, because Zugig moved to the left. Freiman went to the right, but they're going to keep going. Marshall Crocker Jr. would love to see them battle a little more in behind, as he's been unable to pull away from them there, Rich, once he got around after that issue with Freiman, where he had to go off track to gather the car up. We see Zach Tankersley kind of lurking in behind. He's bringing Fernando Rosario with him too as well. So if something else were to happen amongst those 3 up ahead, Uncle Tank potentially could snatch a podium position here.
No, I think Uncle Tank's just chomping at the bit watching that battling, hard battling of Alexander Zugig and Nathaniel Freiman up ahead. He's just saying, come on guys, just a couple more little taps and I'm right there.
Yeah, exactly. So close yet so far right now for Uncle Tank, what could have been, or what could be if something happens, but looks like things are kind of stabilized out of that trio battling for third, fourth, and fifth. We'll see if now they kind of stabilize that gap between Uncle Tank, as we are under 10 minutes to go here, Rich, nearing the 8-minute to go mark. So what are we running? 1:55, just under 2-minute laps. So we got about 4 more laps here. Does that sound about right, Rich, on your calculator?
Yeah, according to my abacus, right now we got Brock Morris sitting in first, lap 19. We're gonna go 24 laps, it looks like, Rob. So yeah, your math is mathing.
Hey, that's what happens when you use all fingers and toes. I had to do long division,
All three,
short
right?
division. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I only got 3 toes left on the 1 foot. I got to use them all. I count them a couple times.
There you go. Well, worst comes to worst, you can add in the 5 teeth, and we're all good as we take a look at Evan Guillemette. Oh my goodness, I can't even commentate because I'm making myself laugh. Evan Guillemette, Justin Welsh having themselves a good battle. We're 38 minutes into this race. Drivers nose to tail. Justin Welsh up 8 positions. Evan Guillemette up 4 positions. 8th and 9th in the Pro-Am category. Doesn't matter where you are, folks. You're battling somebody, and these drivers are having a heck of a time here. Miami's taking a look at Evan Guillemette, tucking it up, going up the outside, but that's not going to do anything. Setting himself up. Evan Guillemette taking that wide line, getting the good exit. Justin Welsh playing a little defense. That may cost him, though, because now they're going to go side by side. No, Guillemette tucks it back in. No, he doesn't. They're going side by side, and great driving and good move, Evan Guillemette.
What a battle between those two. Welsh trying to get late in the brakes. He's trying to fight back. That battle's not done here, Rich. Justin Welsh tries to stick up the inside, but unfortunately for him, the corner comes back towards Guillemette, and he's going to solidify that. Looks like something might have happened between MacArthur and Matsko. Let's take a look here quick on board with Jamie MacArthur. Let's see. Chase Matsko behind. Oh, MacArthur's going to lose back in. Oh, Matsko gets on the binders, but a little bit of tap there actually gave
nice
MacArthur a little bit of a shot there to get him straightened back out.
Thanks, buddy. Here, have a bottle of Jack.
Yeah. His Jack was on the rocks there, though. Took it with the ice. See Uncle Tank in behind, trying to break the draft of Fernando Rosario. Down the stretch, moving to the left, moving to the right. We got a Zugig showing the nose to Crocker. Crocker not biting off that one. Ooh, Zugig getting a little squirrely under the brakes there. See that back end dancing around a little bit. Running a whole lot of rear brake bias, looks like, on the back of that Mercedes.
I looked almost like the modern day 2026 version of the F1 cars, the way the back ends are dancing around here, Rob. I mean, this is some good racing. All that's going on. Travis Roberto up ahead. Oh, we got Uncle Tank and Fernando Rosario having themselves a good battle. Rosario going wide, Tank going a little bit defensive. It's going to cost him a corner exit. Is we going to see what we just saw a lap ago here this time? But we got Uncle Tank, Zachary Tankersley, Fernando Rosario battling side by side. Rosario tucking in behind. Now he's going to send it up the inside. Now it just dips the nose in. He's content right now to hang on. Look at the beautiful scenery. The stadium in the background. Blue skies of Miami International Autodromo. We are here. FMA, 5 minutes left, folks.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to get rid of all that blue on the walls and on the road, though, Rich.
Yes. Get some better sponsors, man. Come on.
Justin Welsh going to take that spot back again from Evan Guillemette as they continue to battle for 15th place. A little bit of a hot potato here between the two of them for 15th place. Neither one wants to hold on to it, so we'll see who ends up crossing the line as we're at 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. About 2 laps left in this one. Rich is our leader. Brock Morris still sitting comfortably up front. 10 seconds now ahead of Travis Roberto, and he's lapping the back end of the field now.
Yeah, it's quite the race here for Brock Morris. Like I said, 4:20 left to go, Rob, in this race. So just 4:20 left. I guess we're a little less than that now. But Brock Morris, the 05 Chevrolet Corvette, coming around. Finished lap 21. He's got going on to lap 22 here. Not much time left if anybody wants to make a move, but Brock Morris going to have to make a big mistake in order for Travis Roberto or Marshall Crocker Jr. to get into this hunt. A little further back, Alexander Zugig still applying a little bit of pressure here. Nathaniel Fryman in behind him, Marshall Crocker Jr. So these 3 cars battling for that 3rd and final podium position.
They got some lap traffic up ahead of them that they're catching there now. Rich, that's Matt Mars, possibly Broughton Jones, and PJ Wentline, I think, maybe up ahead. So we'll see if that plays a role in this battle. Potentially, we could see a change of position here if one of these drivers can't quite navigate through the traffic as quick as one of the other ones. If they get through that first car a little quick, but they have Matt Mars still up ahead. We'll see who gets through traffic a little better. It looks like James Tankersley. No wing now on the back of that Corvette. Oh, and I see that the Mercedes of, I believe that was Broughton Jones spinning around just in front of him. It was the Red Bull car around Verstappen.com, and we oh no, don't back on the track.
The Red Bulls in GT3 are having about as many issues as the Red Bulls in F1, unfortunately for Broughton Jones. Take a look a little further up. Oh, look at this. This is getting real tight and real late in the race. This is not what these drivers want to see. Marshall Crocker Jr. is going, oh no, please, Matt, move out of my way, man. I got him coming through. We got Matt Mars, Jacob Williams up ahead. Marshall Crocker Jr. trying to get by. Matt Mars doing his best to try and get out of the way. It's real tough and tight confines on the street circuit. Matt Mars doing a good job. Now he's pulling a rate off, letting these drivers battle and see what happens here as they're coming down the straightaway.
Yeah, it's the thing with street courses, Rich, when you're overlapping or passing lap traffic. Oh, Zuki late on the brakes to take that spot. Unfortunately, Crocker going to give him the crossover here. Oh, Fryman getting loose in behind. All three of those drivers had the back end waggling like a tail of a dog. Rich, they all got big eyes.
Switcheroo.
They all got big eyes seeing those drivers going wide, thinking there was an opportunity for a move there. As again, we see Zukic's back end just wagging there. I'm curious how much rear brake bias he's running that thing. Looks like almost at every corner, the back end just dancing around.
I don't know what he's doing, but it's working for him because he's sitting fourth overall, first in class, and he's making that Mercedes exciting to watch. He really, really is, and he's not afraid to throw it in there. When you're battling against Marshall Crocker Jr., he's demonstrated that he's cool and composed in spite of that little pit incident. And Zugic's not afraid at all of, and he's applying all kinds of pressure. Yeah, he's got first in class, but he wants to get on the podium with the big boys.
Yeah, let's try and get himself up there. We'll see what kind of run he gets. This is the last lap, I believe, too, as well. Potentially one more. I didn't quite see much time was left when Morris crossed the line, but keep an eye on where he is. I think he's heading to the front straight now, so it's going to be close. I think we might have one more lap, but Zugic again trying to find a way around Crocker. Crocker having to go defensive, trying to make that Mustang as wide as he can without leaving enough room on the inside for Zugic to stick the nose in.
Yeah, and with a couple of alternate lines and a couple of these corners, you can be defensive, but is defensive going inside or outside? I don't know, but Crocker Jr. doing a good job of it right now. I'm wondering if Alexander Zugig may have overheated those tires a little bit in all those moves. We take a look at Brock Morris. He's currently first place and overall in this league, but I think he's going to have one more lap to go, Rob. We got, we're going to go one more time around. Barney's out there waving the white flag.
Last time for these drivers, as we see now, Zugic having to go into the defensive as Fryman trying to get up into that spot too as well. So he's been sitting back watching the offensive maneuvers. I don't offensive as far as
I'm offended.
Well, he's been watching Zugic on the offense there against Marshall Crocker Jr., where Crocker Jr.'s had to be the Minister of Defense to hold off Zugic. Fryman now wanting to get into that action. The Porsche looks like he struggled through that section. He's fallen back a little bit, but battle's not over here for final step on the podium, Rich.
No, definitely not. And we got not a whole lot left here in this race, folks. Drivers still battling hard. Oh my goodness, with lap traffic up ahead. They're going wide around the outside. Very nice. They're tucking it in and going in the inside, so the lap traffic getting out of the way very kindly. Marshall Crocker Jr. continually hold off Alexander Zugig. Nathaniel Fryman falling a little bit back, but sticking his nose out there, letting him know he's there just in case something happens, because I don't think Alexander Zugig's going to take fourth lying down. He's gonna try and send it as we see him, and he does. Oh, he's trying to send it up the outside. No, Crocker Jr. has him covered off, but now on corner exit, Zugig's got the better exit, but Is there anything you can do? No, that backhand sliding around. Robbie's doing a great job holding on to it. Car's nose to tail. Fryman getting right back into it now. And Fryman all over the back of 1, 2, 3 as they come down the straightaway.
Yeah, we got to pick back up our leader as he's only got a couple more corners to go here to take round number 1 of the FMA GT3 Championship. He's giving us the old razzle-dazzle heading through the final couple corners. One more corner to go here for Brock Morris. He's going to take the win from pole position. Travis Roberto going to come home in second place. Nice recovery run for him, and we'll hop back to this battle for final step on the podium. Marshall Crocker Jr. currently leading the way. One more corner to go for him. Does Zugig have anything left? No, he doesn't. He's going to have to hold off Fryman to come home in 4th place. Fryman going to come home in 5th. Uncle Tank going to come home in 6th. Fernando Rosario really fell off the back there in the 7th place off Uncle Tank, but well done for him, and welcome to the league.
Yeah, great welcome. Newcomer Alex Jacobson having a good race. Chase Matsko, a little issues earlier on, but coming in solid. Right now, he's currently in 13th place. Chase Matsko having himself a good little contest here with Dustin Wells, but that's going to be the extent of it here. Dustin Wells covering him off.
Wells going to hold that spot. This battle between Guillemette and Welsh. We saw them play hot potato for a number of laps. It looks like Evan Guillemette going to be the one holding the potato at the checkered flag, though. Rich, he's going to come home in 15th place. Justin Welsh going to have to settle for 16th position on the grid.
Oh, further back, J.D. Whoa, something. Oh, that's not the way to finish a race, folks. Unfortunately for Jacob Brown. They're letting him get that position back, it looks like. And oh well, unfortunately something a little bad happened. I think a little bit of a push may have happened here.
Yeah, we'll take a look. DCO Lima looks to the inside. Oh yeah, a little bit of contact spun him around, but Lima did the right thing, pulled off and waited for Brown to get by and give that position back. So it's always nice to see when gentlemanly conduct comes to the forefront. But Steven Zabster across the line. I believe he's going to be our final car on track here, Rich. And we can take a look at the final results here. But before we get to the results, give us a quick recap here on the race. How'd you think it went?
It was great, Rob. It was what I expected. I thought we were going to see some incidents. We saw some incidents. We saw some great driving. We saw some great recovery driving. Marshall Crocker Jr. after that pit lane penalty. Nathaniel Fryman coming back up after his incident earlier on. Lots of great racing. Lots of people making some big advances. Yeah, you know, you got Ignacio Arroyo up 11 positions. Jacob Brown up 10 positions. A lot of fun. Great first race for FMA for this season.
Absolutely. And with that, let's take a look at the results. So we see Brock Morris led 9 laps. Most laps led, Marshall Crocker led 14 laps. So Brock Morris led the ones that mattered the most, the first one and the last one of the race. So hats off to him. Travis Roberto, second step on the podium. Marshall Crocker Jr. going to have to settle for 3rd spot. 24 laps in this one. Fastest lap, Travis Roberto. 154.718. We had 3 position changes for the lead. Let's take a look over at Pro-Am. Alexander Zugig takes top spot in Pro-Am. Fernando Rosario in second place, and Alec Jacobson, the lone McLaren in the field, Rich, with that Chips Ahoy paint scheme, going to come home at 3rd in Pro-Am class. And in the AM side thing, Dustin Wells comes in top spot. Alexander Berger and Jacob Brown going to round out the AM podium.
Yeah, it was... I like the mix of the different classes. When you've got a big field, different classes based on driver performance, we'll call it, makes for some interesting racing. Lets the guys who are more of the mid-pack or a little further back battle for a championship, and we got to see that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was nice to see battling all up and down through the field here, Rich. Hopefully we keep seeing those big grids out all season, but we got a few drivers waiting in the booth to have a chat with us. Let's see, let's bring in our race winner, Brock Morris, to catch up with Richard Swindells.
Wow, Brock, congratulations on the victory on week 1 here.
Thank you. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's the best way to kickstart the season, so I'm very happy about it.
No doubt. You were sitting there having a great battle with Marshall Crocker Jr. all the way up through the pit cycle. You came in a little early. I was a little worried that you're going to get caught in traffic, but you made quick work of Chase, and you jumped Travis through the pits, or not Travis, Marshall through the pits, and away you went.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a risk, but I was monitoring the delta times to the cars behind us after about lap 5 to see like, oh, is there enough of a gap? And luckily, most of those cars really worked with me, didn't give me a very hard time, so I really appreciate it from them. But yeah,
they were. How were you on fuel? We were a little concerned. Your time in the stall was considerably slower than anybody else in the top 10.
Well, I wanted to do some donuts, but I couldn't. So
you kind of closed, did you?
Yeah, I'll leave that as my answer.
Well, next week we're doing another street circuit. We're going to Adelaide. Have you done much racing there?
Yes, sir, I have. The week it came out, I did an Adelaide 250 in the supercars, which was like, I forgot how many, like 75.
If you could drive supercars there, you could drive anything.
Oh, I love that track, and I love those cars too. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've really come to enjoy that track, so I'm hoping to keep the street circuit success up. But yeah, I think this season is going to be so competitive. This week I might win. The next week I might finish 7th or 8th. Like, you just don't know, and that's what I'm so excited about.
Well, it's definitely the skill level and the large number of entries in FMA have certainly increased based on week 1. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, Brock?
Absolutely, yeah. First of all, Kettering University and Kettering Esports. I'd also like to thank Corn Dog Designs for the beautiful new scheme on the car. It's a 2010 Corvette Racing throwback, so I think it looks pretty cool. Got to thank Juicy Spider, High Side Podcast, and huge shout out to FMA for growing this league. I think this is the biggest field, at least I've ever been a part of in this league, and it's super cool to see it grow, especially the new Thursday night series. Yeah, and then you guys up here in the booth, thank you for broadcasting.
Well, we're glad to do it. Thanks, Brock. We'll see you next week.
All right, I'll see you guys.
That was our race winner, Brock Morris. Congrats to him taking round 1. Let's see who else we got in the booth, or in the waiting room. We've got our second place driver. Let's bring in our second place driver, Travis. Oh, hold on here. I should probably bring him into the right room here, Rich. There we go. Travis Roberto, welcome in. You're able to snatch away second place by via a little bit of I think an issue. Marshall Crocker had to go through pit lane again, but looked like for a while there you might have had something for those two drivers up front.
Yeah, it was okay. I guess I didn't pay attention closely enough that there were 3 laps of qual, so I pulled it in the lap, into the pit on lap 2. I was like, well, P3 won't be too terrible. And then I looked back up, I was 7th or 8th, so I kind of screwed myself a little bit to start, but overall it was okay. The car didn't feel fantastic. I was a little off pace from where I was in practice, but overall you can't complain. I'll take a second.
Have you had much time on Miami before tonight's race? I know it was a new track last season, but still fairly new to most of the drivers in the field.
Yeah, I loaded it up, I think, last week and got a handful of laps on it, probably a good hour's worth of practice. So, I mean, I was familiar with it. There's no excuses, but a couple inconsistencies, a couple small mistakes here, and then just starting that far back didn't really leave me an opportunity to get up there.
Now we head to another street circuit, Adelaide, next week. How you feeling about heading into that one?
Sam, it's an enjoyable track to drive. It's just going to be one of those things you want to qualify up front because it would be about impossible to drive through the field on such a narrow track.
Yeah, it makes it real tough, even narrower than we saw here at Miami. But before we let you go here, Travis, anybody you want to shout out watching at home?
Well, I think my dad, George Buck, might be tuning in. He likes to broadcast the Mach 10 Motorsport Group, FMA, and as always, your guys' broadcast. I appreciate it.
Excellent stuff. We appreciate that too as well. Travis, best of luck next week in the land down under Adelaide for you.
We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Take care. That was our second place finisher, Travis Roberto. Let's round out the pro podium here with Marshall Crocker Jr. to chat with Richard Swindells.
Marshall, what did you do at pit time?
Did the opposite of what I did last Thursday. Last time I was a bad boy on the way in. This time I was a bad boy on the way out. I haven't looked it back yet. I probably just clipped the pit exit line like a millimeter too early. And you're a racer, you know the feeling. You see the guy that you're about to have to chase down, pulling ahead of you out of pit road. You cut any margin you can, and luckily it only cost me a spot, but that was pretty heartbreaking.
That was when you came back out after serving that penalty, I thought, okay, fifth, you may get fourth. Unfortunately, Nathaniel had his little incident, and you zoomed right on. Did you even think a podium was possible after that?
I was curious. There was a lot of lap traffic when we all came out, and I think generally speaking, one of the things I take pride in is kind of pre-planning my moves that I get through lap traffic quite well. So I knew I'd make up time, and once you can make up time and get within a second of a guy, anything's possible. But I was a little bit surprised. I was actually surprised once I got to third how tough it was to keep Alexander Zugic behind me. He was lightning quick. That Merc is fast in just the right spots to be a threat, and then you guys probably saw it. Final turn had a perfectly timed send. I wouldn't even call it a dive bomb, but up the inside, I barely got the crossover, almost spun the car, and from there I managed to be okay. So that was the hard part. It wasn't actually so much getting back to third with, like you said, that luck for the guys in front of me, but once I was there, and he's a pro-am too, so there are going to be some just absolute burners in the series this year.
Well, Alexander's definitely demonstrated some good pace last season, and we were watching his Merc, and that back end was hanging all out. He was loose, oversteering, and still staying in it and giving you all kinds of trouble. But you managed to hold off for the podium. Great race overall in spite of the issue. Next week we're to Adelaide, another street circuit. We're looking forward to seeing how you do there. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, let's start giving a shout out to my new teammates, Jacob Williams, Anthony Branco, Kyle Mavis. We were doing some practices through the week. We're running the matching deliveries. I think we're all pretty excited to kind of have that team atmosphere, so we're excited to get that going. I think they did pretty well, and I think Anthony just missed his podium. Shout out to you guys. Always loving these broadcasts. So excited to be back here, and hopefully it was fun for you guys with the new class system and a little bit of something extra to add on. And thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for my girlfriend who I think is out there tonight. And yeah, I think we're going to see you guys, and I think I'm going to be talking to the series as a whole here in just a couple nights' time.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, congratulations. We will see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Marshall Crocker letting the cat out of the bag. He's going to be doing producing and commentary on the Thursday night prototype series along with Alex Goldschmidt. So tune in for that. That starts this week too as well. Let's see who else do we have in the waiting room here to have a chat with us. We've got, who do we got here? Fernando Rosario finished second in class. It looked like Zugig has joined us. So let's bring in our second place Pro-Am driver, Fernando Rosario. Fernando, I believe this was your first race in the league. Am I correct?
Yeah, it is.
Welcome in. And how did it go for your first race in FMA?
I think it went pretty okay. It could have been better.
How did you like Miami? Have you spent much time driving here?
It's my least favorite track.
Well, then how do you feel about Adelaide next week as we're going back to back on street courses?
It should be fun. I still got to learn that one. I haven't driven that one.
Now the Mercedes, we've kind of seen a resurgence of it the last couple seasons as it was kind of left for dead by iRacing a number of seasons ago. How was it driving out here on the street courses? I know it can be a little bit of a hassle getting that big old front end around some of the corners. Did you feel like it worked well here tonight at Miami?
I think so. It was pretty easy to drive for me, at least for my driving style.
Well, excellent stuff. How do you feel about your chances this season taking a top spot in Pro-Am when things all wrap up? I know we're only one race into the season, but you've kind of seen what the Pro-Am competition looks like in class. You think you have a good shot at taking the top spot?
I think I have a decent chance. Being that this is my worst track, it should be better from now on.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you do the rest of the season. Before we let you go here, Fernando, anybody at home watching or could be watching later on that you want to give a shout out to?
Not really.
All right, well, with that, we'll let you go. Thanks for popping in. Best of luck next week at Adelaide, and hopefully we see you occupying a podium position again at the end of the race. Take care.
All right, thank you. Bye.
That was Fernando Rosario, our second place driver in Pro-Am. I believe we got a couple of our AM podium drivers left in chat here. Dustin Wells, we'll bring him in to catch up with Richard Swindells, our AM class winner for this one.
Hey, congratulations, Dustin. Great race tonight.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, top finishing amateur, top finishing Aston Martin as well. Overall, a good effort. Finished 12th overall, up 6 positions. How'd that race go for you tonight?
It was something, man. It's we're racing at Miami. You would think it would be hot. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's my first interview. I really don't know what I'm doing, but it was a great race, fun race. New to the league. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, first race, you got your feet wet in FMA. You're doing your first interview. Nice, tough street circuit of Miami. Next week, we're going to Adelaide, another tough street circuit, this time in Australia. Have you done any racing there before?
Done.
Ah, excellent. That's what we like to hear, Dustin. Going to be interesting. I assume you're going to do a little bit of practice sessions and get yourself all worked out. Aston Martin, how'd you come to choose that car over the others?
I'm a huge McLaren fan, honestly, but the Aston Martin, I really like the Heart of Racing teams. So I just said, oh, well, you know what? They finally added it to the iRacing roster. So I was like, let's give it a try. And since then, bro, I've just really enjoyed driving the car.
Well, it's a great looking car. You did great in it tonight. We look forward to seeing what you can do next week. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out tonight?
I want to give a shout out to everybody at Threshold, my nephews, my brother, my family. I mean, I highly doubt they'll see it, but still shout them out.
Hey, yeah, there you go. And you never know, because this will be on the YouTubes forever. Anyhow, congratulations. Great race tonight. Great introduction to FMA, Dustin. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. Hey, I got one more. I just want to shout out Aaron and the Big Cheese. But other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all having me around, and let's see if I can get it done again next week.
Right on. We'll talk. We'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Maybe the next interview will be better.
Oh, this one was great. You did good, Dustin. Nothing to be ashamed of.
All right. Well, thank you for having me around, guys.
That was our top AM driver, Dustin Wells. Let's quickly bring in our second place driver in AM class. It's Alex Berger. Alex, am I right in this is your first race in FMA, or did we just not catch you last season?
I only caught the last race at Road Atlanta. That was my first race with the FMA so far.
Okay, now you got 2 races under your belt. What do you think of the league so far?
I really enjoy it. I like the fact that we're doing class racing this year. It gives some of us mid-pack guys something to race for. The team aspect's really enjoyable as well.
Well, you did well here tonight. You finished ahead of a number of Pro-Am drivers, even a couple of Pro drivers, that had some issues early on, and got yourself a nice mid-pack finish here in the Porsche 911. We head to another track which is going to have similarities to this one, where tight confines, going to make overtaking really tough. Qualifying going to be of the utmost importance. How you feeling about heading into round number 2 here?
Man, I am not a fan of street circuits whatsoever, but honestly, if you could stay alive, I think a good top 15 finish probably is what I can shoot for.
Is there a track coming up in the season that you kind of get your eye on, or is it, there's a few of them that you're feeling comfortable at?
I'm really looking forward to Watkins Glen. That's a track I've raced at a lot, did a lot of endurance racing there, so that's one I'm kind of eyeing upcoming.
I hear you on that. Watkins Glen is one of my favorite tracks, as well as I'm sure Richard Swindells in the booth here too as well. It's a track that's not actually too far from us. It's a great track, and welcome to the league, Alex. 2 races under your belt, doing well so far. We expect to see you battling at the sharp end of AM class again next week at Adelaide. Get some practice in so we can have you in the booth again next week. But before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out, potentially watching at home, cheering you on, or maybe watching this one back later on?
I just want to say a big thanks to Threshold Performance and all the Threshold teams. We felt like we did pretty good this week, and definitely helped practice in this week with them.
Excellent stuff. Well, take care, Alex, and get some practice in so we can talk to you again next week.
All right, thank you guys.
Take care. That was our second place finisher in AM class, Alexander Berger. Again, second race in the league. Rich, love seeing that. Keeps growing. And we got one guy left in the chat room here. Didn't finish on the podium, but I think we owe it to talk to him because he was in and around basically every battle that we saw here tonight, Rich. And that's this man here, Nathaniel Fryman. Nathaniel, welcome to the league. Heck of a introduction to the league here tonight at Miami.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here. It was a ton of fun. It was all very cool to see a great turnout for this race for the GT3 League, and it was a blast racing with everybody.
Now, be honest with you. Were you watching those two guys ahead of you the last couple laps, hoping maybe they were going to come to blows and you could sneak through with the Porsche?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I had spun it, which I'm sure you guys unfortunately witnessed. And so I had front end damage, rear end damage, and I think I had a little bit of wheel damage. And so with all of that, I had no straight line speed, but I was much faster through all the corners and the technical stuff, which is where I caught them, and I just got stuck behind them. So yeah, I was definitely hoping they were going to go a little too deep or a little too wide, and I was able to get by them.
Now, we had talked about the Nesquik paint that you were sporting on
Yes.
on the car. We're both heavy chocoholics here in the booth, so we love seeing that. But we head to another tight track, well, even tighter than this one, next weekend, Adelaide. You feel the Porsche is going to be an advantage there as it works real well on the twisty stuff?
I mean, hopefully I can be there next week. I'm not entirely sure yet, but if I am, the Porsche is generally a pretty good car. It's very stable. You can kind of chuck it in everywhere. But it felt pretty good. Obviously, I had the pace and felt really good about it. The chocolate milk livery definitely gave me a couple more horsepower, so that's always helpful. But yeah, I think it'll be a good car. It'll be a fight with all the other manufacturers as well. The Mustang, the Merc are normally pretty good in the straight line, but they're a little understeery in the corners. So having a tight and technical track, that could be a downfall for them, and that's where the Porsche could take advantage of that and be pretty good and competitive.
For sure, you got to find the strengths and the weaknesses of your car and the weaknesses of your competitors and take advantage of that. But before we let you go here, Nathaniel, anybody you might want to shout out potentially watching you at home or that you might show this to later on?
Shout out Ball State Esports. I'm able to race for them on their sim team, and I love it. So shout out them. They've helped me. Shout out my family, friends, girlfriend. They're all supporting me through league racing and sim racing, and I appreciate it a ton.
Excellent stuff. Well, if we see you next week, Nathaniel, if you're able to make it, best of luck to you. Otherwise, we'll catch you at the next race after that. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
So that was Nathaniel Fryman, his first race in the league. Sounds like he's happy to be here, Rich.
I guess so. He had a great race, lots of excitement, and did a good job.
You know what? I talk a lot of smack about Miami off the hop just because I hate all the blue, and I still hate all the blue. I'm going to drive down there and get out a paintbrush and throw some red or black or something here and there. But it produced a good race. 35 cars on track. Definitely going to help that. Tight confines, not a whole lot of room for drivers to maneuver around each other. But you know what? A great way to kick off this season of FMA racing. But before we head out of this one, we should give a shout out to our sponsors for Racer Nexus here, Apex Sim Racing. Find yourself a 5% discount code in the description of the video. Yourself 5% off anything they sell in store. Whether it's their own brand of accessories or it's from brand or manufacturers like SimiCube, SimMagic, Moza. They even sell chassis and PCs. So you can get yourself on track and racing here in FMA with the rest of the drivers you see on screen. So we thank them again for providing that. And then all of our camera angles brought to you as usual by Track Cams for Gourmets. Here this evening, trackcams22.com. He captures all the similar camera angles that you catch on Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, IMSA, or WEC, depending which track and series we're at. So thank you to them again for providing those cameras. But that's pretty much going to wrap things up here at Miami. Rich, any last words before we head out?
No, Rob, I think you said it all, and we saw it all. It was awesome.
It was. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. If we can get 35 to 40 cars on track, I think it's going to be a hell of a season when all is said and done. So for myself, Rob Campbell, Richard Swindell is in the booth with me. This has been Racers Nexus. We'll catch you back next week when we head to the land down under to try our luck on another street circuit for round number 2. Until then, bye for now.
Hey, good night.